Good evening. I trust you're all well. Start of another week, and hope you're all able to enjoy as much as possible a weekend. Obviously a very different weekend for us all. Probably like many of you, I celebrated Mother's Day with my family at home, and also virtually with my sister and my mother. So yeah, very testing times for us all. But I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today I just wanted to touch on a number of points that we are this week starting to tackle and starting to really get on the front foot on, and hopefully as the week progresses we can provide you with more detail. We are teaming up with our bank of experts, Mayor Wim Baxter, Elman Wall, who are our auditors, but also invaluable support during this time, TTC and many others. Lots of expert help we're putting in to really try and help us through and make sure we can get as much information to you. Unfortunately, in most cases, a lot of the detail isn't there. So what I thought I'd just touch on today is just some of the areas where in particular the government-backed loans, which did which went live today, and that you may be able to make avail yourself of. Also, I just wanted to remind everyone that if you haven't seen it, ABTA are have contacted the government, are in contact with them regularly regarding some measures that they believe are absolutely vital to the prosperity and longevity of the industry. So I have this morning written to Grant Schnaps, and if any of you are able to contact your MP, there is a template that ABTA have provided which gives you all the details, and just urge you to do everything you can to support during this time. So the more of us that can really rally behind, then the better likelihood of being listened to. But hopefully there are some really key factors that the ABTA have set out there that we are fully supportive of. I also wanted today just talk about the government-backed schemes, loan schemes that have come into force today, that you will start to be able to contact your banks for those of you that qualify. So just to recap, this is for any businesses under 45 million and looking to avail themselves of loans up to 5 million. From what I understand, so I was on the phone to one of the banking establishments today. They will, and it's probably going to be broadly the same, but they are looking at 6 to 9 months cash flow forecasting for this year. So factor in almost sort of the next 6 months, no income at all. What does that look like? What does that do in terms of cash in the business? Also looking at management accounts for probably for the whole of last year, so based in 2019 as your kind of normal year, and a forecast for 2021 based on 2019. So cash flow forecasting for next 6 to 9 months, but also management accounts of from 2019, looking at it as a normalised year, based in 2021 on that as well. There will be and there are different criteria and assessments being made by the banks. You know, they are making their own individual judgment calls. So the loans are that will be available are 5-year loans, so 6-year loans, and looking to pay that off over 5 years. First year interest free with some repayment holidays, but paying that over a 5-year period. Likelihood in terms of the amount that you will be able to borrow, it looks like it will be around 25% of your turnover. So please speak to individual banks, please speak to your relationship managers, because they obviously will have all the detail, and it is based on individual businesses. So there isn't a one criteria that fits all. It is an assessment based on the individual business that the banks will make and apply their judgment on. HMRC, so the other one that we've had a lot of questions on this morning is the job retention scheme. So held calls this morning on that. Still a lot of detail, just not there. What is quite clear will be that a lot of the information will be on the HMRC portal, which still as of now recording isn't live. We are waiting for that to go live. Again, we don't know how long that will be. So once that is on there, then that will allow us to work through the process of how we go about. What we do know is actually there will be a really clear distinction between furlong and not working. So you really need to be really clear around which employees you are placing on furlong, as opposed to potential salary reductions. That's very different. So you're going to really need to think about how you model that. Again, as soon as we have any further information, I'm happy to speak to any of the members directly, because I said I was involved in the conversation earlier today with our advisor on that. Can't give any specific advice, but happy to work through with members on that. Also on that, it's also we'll have further details around how you'll be able to apply. What we're not aware of right now is whether or not you have to pay the staff the up to 80%, or you claim that back. So it could be that you need to apply, and that will need to be paid by you initially, and then a repayment will come through. We're still not aware. Obviously, that's not helpful from a cash point of view, but this is some of the detail that we really do not know. So as soon as we have any further information, then we will make sure that we send that on to you. But keep checking the HMRC portal, because that should have a lot more information as and when that becomes available. I thought it would be worth referencing the decision we took last week on CAPS, our central payment system. I've had a couple of calls from members about that. That was not a decision taken lightly. Obviously, as you know, ABTA SPS also suspended their system. It is just a temporary suspension. We are looking at, are there other alternatives? Are there other ways of being able to process payments for members? Clearly at the moment, we're not seeing refunds come through the system, and you know that there are potentially collections being made by suppliers. So it's a ongoing discussion. It is something we are looking at. We know that it's potentially an administrative burden for many members. But the volumes are small going through, other than the refunds as and when they come through. So really difficult decision, one not taken lightly, as are many decisions right now. We are literally having to make them on a best case judgment. That's all we can do. The risk is too high for us to continue that system right now. So that is why we have suspended it. But please keep talking to us. Please keep letting us know how we can help you. And we are working through to understand whether there are any other solutions that we can really provide our members with. And as and when we can, then I'll make sure that we provide you further information. I think we're also starting to see, because we all need a bit of good news, and we all need a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, although that light's not quite there yet. You know, some great stories coming through, how members are helping in their communities. Kelly referenced it last week. Really enlightening, really lovely to see. And obviously a lot of you now will be going to a closed door policy. We did, as you all know, last week. Every one of our employees are working from home. And they're difficult decisions. And if you're not used to working from home, it can be quite daunting. And I said to my team this morning, already sort of a few days in, and I'm missing them all already, and it feels like you've been apart for a long time. So when you're so used to spending so much time, so it does take a while to adjust to this, but we do know it's short term, and hopefully this will be over. And well, let's hope it's over sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, appreciate a lot of you have got kids in situ with you, and working through with other family members also, and that presents other challenges. We have produced some assets. They came out last week, and we'll make sure that we keep reminding you of them, that allow you to communicate with your customers about your closed door policy, but that you're still open for business. So please give yourselves access to these as and when you can, and please use them to help you in your business. So that's all for me today. We'll be back on tomorrow. I think we're going to have one of the team on tomorrow to talk to you a bit more about marketing, and what you can be doing, and your communication, keeping communication channels open with your customers. In the meantime, as always, keep well, keep safe, and all the best. Bye-bye.